Well, I have. Many, many times. Who here has been so afraid of failing that you didn't even try? I've been there too. Hi, I'm Tamara, and I will be talking about failure. You see, every day we are constantly reminded to not make mistakes. We are told mistakes are bad and that failure equals a weakness. I'm aware of how many times I've failed before. Some I was proud of, some I wasn't, and that's all right. And in the past, I was always so scared to try new things and to take new risks. You know why? Because I feared failure. So why do we fear failure? Well, people aren't afraid of failure itself, but the outcome of failing. Failure can feel like a public embarrassment, especially in competitive societies. People tend to worry about being seen as incompetent or weak by others. Failure can sometimes make people feel like they're not good enough. Now, I've done ballet since I was 3 years old. In ballet, there are many expectations. We have these expectations to look perfect and elegant. One single mistake, and it's all over again from the top. All our pressure is weighed down to the tips of our toes. I know this makes it sound like failure can be pressuring, which it sometimes can be, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a weakness. Instead, I like to think of it as a strength. Failure teaches us new things every single day. Failure can teach you how to pick yourself up and try again, building emotional strength. It makes you more adaptable for future challenges. It reminds you that your struggle is universal. And lastly, it encourages innovation. Now, I'm going to ask you all some questions, and I want you to reflect it in your head. What's the worst failure you've ever had? What is one risk you've taken? What was the outcome of that risk? Was it good or was it bad? Looking back at it, are you now glad you took that risk? If you're not glad, did you at least learn something from it? What did it teach you? So you see, failure isn't always a negative thing. It can be a learning opportunity. In fact, I think people should encourage failure. So now, here are some ways on how to fail forward. Number 1, shift your mindset. Instead of, I failed, ask yourself, what did this teach me? Ask yourself, what factors were in or out of my control? What would I do differently next time? Number 2, turn failure into steps. For example, instead of saying, I didn't remember any of my lines for the presentation, you should instead say, I'll rehearse with a colleague before the next presentation. Number 3, celebrate the efforts, not just the outcomes. For example, say things like, I took a risk, and that's growth. So you see, failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a part of it. We all need to remember to fail a little bit before succeeding. So the next time you beat yourself about failing, remember, it's a step to success. Thank you.